Hi, Frank, and any of your friends that happen to be with you. I understand Sadie and Trey and Kenny might be coming to visit, so make sure they see this story time is for you and them too. Look over my shoulder. You see all our future books that we have to read. Today we have two, and they're both about animals. One is about animals that are no longer living, they are extinct, and that's dinosaurs. I'm going to show you the sign for dinosaurs. Can you take your hand and bring your thumb up to your four fingers? This is the ground. Here's the dinosaur. Dinosaurs make big, deep steps. One of the books is There's a Dinosaur on the 13th Floor. The next book is about an animal that's still around on Earth, and it's a rhinoceros. My rhinoceros. See his long horn? There are a couple ways to make a rhinoceros in sign language, but the easiest one is just to make a horn. A horn. So that's the one we're going to use. Make a horn. So we've got the dinosaur and we've got our rhinoceros. Both of them should be great fun. Let's start. There's a dinosaur on the 13th floor. So we've got like a hotel with a lot of stories, and there's a dinosaur up on the top floor. Let's learn about Mr. Snore. Welcome to the Shaремore Hotel, said the bellhop. That's the man who's going to help him find his room. You must be Mr. Snore. Let me show you to your room. The sooner the better, said Mr. Snore. I am very sleepy. Looks like a nice hotel, doesn't it? Plants. Let's see where his room looks like. Here you are, said the bellhop. Room 104. 104. Sweet dreams, Mr. Snore. Mr. Snore thanked the bellhop, got ready for bed, crawled under the covers, and switched off the light. But as he was about to lay his head upon the pillow, he heard a squeaking sound. Hello, front desk. This is Mr. Snore in room 104. Somebody is sleeping on my pillow. Yes, that would be the mouse, said the bellhop. I believe he's had a very long day. So have I, grumbled Mr. Snore, and I do not wish to share a room with a mouse. So the bellhop led Mr. Snore to a room on the second floor. Sleep tight, Mr. Snore. Mr. Snore crawled into bed and switched off the light. But just as he was falling asleep, he felt a rush of cold air. Mr. Snore called the front desk again. Someone is hogging all the covers. Look who's hogging all the covers. That would be Mr. Pig, said the bellhop. Shall I bring you another blanket? No, Mr. Snore fumed. I want another room. So he doesn't want to sleep with the pig. I'm not surprised, are you? So the bellhop took Mr. Snore to the third floor, where there were no pigs nor mice to be found. Mr. Snore kicked off his slippers, crawled into bed, and was just about to close his eyes when drip, drip, drip. Looks like water is dripping and bouncing off his nose. Poor Mr. Snore. Sorry about the ceiling leaking, the bellhop said as Mr. Snore marched past the ocean view on the fourth floor. This time, declared Mr. Snore, I will find my own room. He found one on the fifth floor. So we're going up the floors. I don't think you will like this room, whispered the bellhop, unless, of course, you are fond of. Wonder what's on the fifth floor. What is he going to be fond of? Spiders! Cried Mr. Snore. Quick, said the bellhop, to the elevator. How do you feel about bees? Asked the bellhop. The same way I feel about spiders, said Mr. Snore. Please skip the sixth floor. Up another floor of the hotel. Giraffes, cried Mr. Snore. The bellhop smiled. Would you care to guess what's on the 10th floor? On the 10th floor, they found hamsters. Where are the rest of the giraffes? Asked Mr. Snore. On the 11th floor, said the bellhop. Then I will stay on the 12th floor. So there's something on every floor. So they went to the 12th floor. Hey, it's empty, said Mr. Snore. No one ever stays here, explained the bellhop. Perfect, said Mr. Snore, and he lay down and shut his eyes. It does tend to get a bit noisy, said the bellhop, warning, but Mr. Snore was already fast asleep. Mr. Snore rang the front desk. I cannot sleep with all this noise. I'm going to find a room on the 13th floor. Oh dear, no, said the bellhop. On the 13th floor there is a click. He hung up the phone, ran up to the 13th floor. Mr. Snore did not wait to hear the bellhop's warning. He went up to the 13th floor. There was no mice, no pigs, no penguins, no snakes, no spiders, no dolphins, no bees, and no giraffes, not even a hint of a hamster. Nothing but a giant room with a giant bed and a giant pillow. Here's Mr. Snore way down here. Look at how big the bed is. The bellhop says, I do hope Mr. Snore will be all right. Ring was the phone at the front desk of the Sharemore Hotel. Hello, this is the dinosaur on the 13th floor. Somebody is sleeping on my pillow. The bellhop sighed. That would be Mr. Snore. He has had a very long day. Here's the dinosaur. He decided to sleep in the lobby. The end. There's a dinosaur on the 13th floor. There's a dinosaur on the 13th floor. Hope you enjoyed it and hope Mr. Snore is getting some sleep. Our second book, My Rhinoceros. My Rhinoceros. Would you like a rhinoceros for a pet? Here's the little boy. When I bought my rhinoceros, I didn't really know what I was getting into. A rhinoceros is really big. He was a nice animal. He was quiet, shy. He stayed in the yard and kept to himself. After a couple of days, I noticed that my rhinoceros wouldn't chase a ball. He's going fetch, but the rhinoceros didn't move. Or a stick, fetch. Or a frisbee, come on. He didn't roll over, he didn't do anything. My rhinoceros wouldn't do anything. I called a rhinoceros expert. Does he yank on his leash? She asked. No, I said. Does he attack other rhinoceroses? No, I said. Does he poop on the rug? No, I said. So what's the problem? And I said, he doesn't do anything. Actually, she said, rhinoceroses only do two things: pop balloons and poke holes in kites. So she says with his horn, he can pop balloons and put a hole in a kite. I think the little boy's kind of sad. His rhinoceros isn't what he quite expected. I couldn't believe it. Pop balloons and poke holes in kites? How pathetic. And then I thought, what if we went to the park and there was a man selling balloons? He imagines the rhinoceros popping all the man's balloons. That wouldn't be too good. Luckily, when they went to the park, nothing happened. But what if somebody was flying a kite? He's wondering if the rhinoceros horn would pop the kite. Lots of kids were flying kites, but nothing happened. My rhinoceros didn't pop balloons, and he didn't even poke holes in kites. He's so disappointed his rhinoceros is doing nothing. I began to wonder about my rhinoceros. Maybe he was a clunker. Maybe I should have bought a hippopotamus instead. See, all the other kids are playing with their dogs, fetching, but the rhinoceros doing nothing. On the way home from the park, I saw a robbery. One of the robberies, one of the robbers was getting away in a balloon. The other was escaping in a kite. Mm. The robber in the balloon was taunting the crowd. That means he's saying, ha ha, I'm getting away with all this money from the bank. I looked at my rhinoceros and pointed to the balloon. Pop, I said. To my surprise, my rhinoceros leaped into the air. He swooped at the balloon with his tusk, his horn. Pop went the balloon, and down fell the robber. I looked up at my rhinoceros and pointed to the robber in the kite and said, "Poke a hole," I yelled. My rhinoceros swooped over and poked a big hole in the kite. Down fell the robber. Everybody was amazed by my rhinoceros. The police chief raced up to me. "Is this your rhinoceros?" he said. "Yes," I said. "Well, you've got a really special one. He can pop balloons and poke holes in kites." "I know," I said. "And guess what else? He can fly too." I don't think I'll buy a hippopotamus. My rhinoceros. My rhinoceros and a dinosaur on the 13th floor. Two fun stories. Now we know dinosaurs aren't going to be on the 13th floor, and we know rhinoceroses can't fly, but they were fun stories. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope your friends, if they're watching, your cousins, Sadie, Kenny, Trey, I hope you're there too. Aunt Patty loves you all. And Frank, I love you too. Bye, everybody. Enjoy being together.